I just got back from the worst date. Already there were some red flags, but when we first met, we hit it off, so I wanted to give it a shot. He was texting me things like, next Easter, we're gonna be doing this. Our second date, we should go here. We're on the phone today. He says, our firstborn is gonna be named this. I respond, sir, let's get through the first date. He turns it around on me, says, that's crazy you'd bring up baby names already. I didn't. I'm not crazy. Saying how he's gonna surprise me with where we're going for dinner tonight, but it's gonna be a steakhouse. He says wear something black and tight. Never gonna happen. I'm wearing something white and oversized because I've been through that. Not happening again. But I ask him if I should wear a dress. Is it fancy? He says if I want to. So I'm assuming it is. He says be ready for 6 and he'd call me an Uber. So I'm ready for 6, waiting on him to text me. No text. So I text him at 6:15. He reprimands me, says, tisk, tisk, can't believe it took you so long to tell me you were ready. So starting it off on like a weird note. I finally get in the Uber he calls, but it's some random address and I can't figure out where I'm going on Google. So I ask him what the name of the restaurant is so I can meet him there. He won't tell me where we're going. He's like, just get out on the corner, wait for me. So I get out and I'm waiting on this random street corner. I see him get out of his apartment building and walk across the street. And so obviously he chose somewhere super close to him, which is fine, but then don't be late and make me wait for you. We go into the restaurant. It's the Keg. It is the Keg. Don't get me wrong. I love their food, but don't like actually get some big surprise and gonna be so fancy. I'm so embarrassed. I'm in my fur. I am in heeled Alexander Wang boots. Like I'm so embarrassed. We sit down, he starts talking about himself and doesn't stop for 15 minutes. Doesn't ask me a single question about myself. So finally I say, do you want to know anything about me? He says, I'd rather make my own opinion of you, and I think I already have one. Proceeds to tell me who I am as a person, even though he knows nothing about me. He lists the qualities, tells me I'm super close with my parents. I'm not talking to them right now, sir. We are estranged. Tells me I'm shy and submissive. Are we on the same date? Because I'm not. I'm like talking over him every time he interrupts me because I'm like, it's just so rude. Our appetizers come. I'm in the middle of a sentence. He puts a bite of food in my mouth, so I have to stop talking so he can talk. Like, it happened 3 times. So rude. Then he says how women should be submissive and men should always have the final decision and that, they're competent and women should just trust men. And boundaries are super important for men, but women should break them for men. So offensive and just, no. He starts talking about money, which I hate on a first date because I just think it shows that a man's insecure. I'm not dating for money. I don't care how much you make as long as you're stable. But also, if you're painting yourself as this high roller like he was and like bragging about how much he pays when he goes to Miami for an Airbnb, it grosses me out. It's so unattractive. And I actually don't think you make that much working with DJs. I'm sorry. Then he says something sarcastic, and I didn't catch the sarcasm because we're still getting to know each other, obviously. And he makes me feel so dumb about it. He was just so rude about it. He's like, I can't believe you didn't catch that. That was obviously sarcasm. So I go to the bathroom because I'm just like trying to hit my emotional support vape and waste as much time as possible so I can leave. I should have just left like within 2 minutes because I knew I didn't like him, but I just get nervous. Every time I talk, I just see him staring at my body and it makes me so uncomfortable. And it's like, you don't actually care what I have to say. And that's the problem with dating in Toronto is every single date that I go on, no man actually asks me a question. They don't care to get to know me. They see a woman and they think, she's my type. I would want her to look nice beside me, but I'm not actually gonna get to know her. I don't care to understand her. Finally, he asked me a question about myself. He says, what's your biggest turnoff? And I say, which is the truth. I tell him it's when people interrupt me and when people listen to respond and not understand. The rest of the date, he keeps interrupting me, but at least he acknowledges it. But then he just keeps talking every time over me. It's so rude. Finally, our steak comes. I have a couple bites. Tell him I gotta go. I have an early morning. I was in and out within an hour. I didn't even wait for our plates to be cleared. I was so done. And this man was just so unaware that I was having the worst time. I didn't smile once. And I'm just so over dating in the city. Every single boyfriend I've ever had here is the worst person you've ever met. I'm done.
Was I wrong for exposing my sister the week before her wedding? My older sister is my best friend in the entire world. We grew up being inseparable, and even as adults, we still are. Going after the wrong man must be genetic because my sister has had a terrible taste in men her entire life and was constantly getting her heart broken by guys who did not deserve her. But then a few years ago, she met her fiance. They started dating, and he is the best guy in the world and has become like a brother to me. And he's helped me through all my horrible boy situations. When her fiance proposed, it was one of the best days of my life because I always thought that she was going to end up with a piece of trash man like her ex-boyfriend who tried to kiss me when they were together. That's a story for another day. But she did take him back after that, and they dated for like another year. My sister asked me to be the maid of honor, and of course I said yes. And I've just been so excited for her wedding, which is in a week, or supposed to be in a week. This whole saga starts a month ago when I decide that I'm going to go to the mall to pick up some clothes. And as I'm pulling into the parking lot, I see my sister walking out of the mall with some guy I don't recognize. And they're laughing and talking. It looks a little flirty, but I didn't really think anything of it because obviously she's a happily engaged woman. It was weird because the mall that she was at was not the mall that was closest to her house and also was significantly smaller than the mall that's closer to her. So there was no reason why she'd be at that mall. I was gonna roll down my window and yell something out at her, but they were kind of far away and it was pretty crowded. So I decided not to embarrass myself. And I decided I would just text her later and ask her about it, but I forgot. Okay, it was a busy day. It slipped my mind. I didn't think it was a big deal at the time, so I just never said anything about it. And I don't even think about this situation again until about a month ago when I walked into my sister and her fiance arguing at one of our family dinners. And my sister's fiance is a very cool, calm, collected guy. I've never seen him upset before, but he was angry and he just stormed out and totally left the dinner. So I asked my sister what was going on. And she was like, ugh, I just got lunch with a guy friend last week and he's totally overreacting about it. But I gave her one of those looks like I knew she wasn't telling the truth because I know that man and she has gotten lunch with her guy friends before and he's never cared. So why suddenly would he care about it? It is not making sense. The math is not mathin'. And finally, she just breaks down and she tells me that she's been having an affair for the last 2 years. Now, this was shocking to me because, again, my sister is my best friend in the world. I talk to her every single day. So she's been lying to me for 2 years. She's been telling me she was one place when she was really out cheating on her fiance. She said last week her fiance got home early and they were sitting pretty close on the couch, which made him suspicious. But she's been gaslighting him like, oh my God, you're crazy. He's just a friend. You're being crazy. No, he's not. He's not being crazy. I tell her, you need to tell your fiance about this. You need to tell him exactly what's been going on for the last 2 years. He deserves to know. And she's like, no, Kels, I can't. I cannot do that. And I was like, well, you got to figure out how. And she was like, you're right. That's the right thing to do. I'll tell him. The next day, my sister calls me and says that she told her fiance, and even though he was super upset, that he did forgive her and still wanted to get married, which was kind of surprising to me. I knew the man loved her, but a 2-year affair and you're literally right about to get married. But I was happy for her and I told her I was proud of her for being honest. But spoiler alert, this was a lie, and she thought she could get away with lying to me because she didn't think that I knew what the guy that she was cheating with looked like. Because again, she had no idea that I saw this mall incident. I didn't really even remember it until I walked into their rehearsal dinner a few days ago, and I locked eyes with the best man. Her fiance's best man was the same man I saw my sister walking out of the mall with and flirting with. And at that minute, I just knew. I was like, this is the man that she was having the affair with. And her fiance and his best man are standing over by the food, cracking jokes, having a good time together. And I knew that if that man knew about the betrayal, there's no way they would even be in the same room together. So I knew she was lying to me. And I immediately go pull my sister to the side. And I'm like, you lied. You lied to me. My sister's like, what? I don't know what you're talking about, playing dumb. And I was like, you're not going to gaslight me the same way you're gaslighting your fiance. Tell me the truth. Is that best man out there the man you were having an affair with for 2 years? And she's just absolutely gobsmacked. She's looking at me like, then she just goes, how did you know? Who told you? I didn't even tell her about them all. I was like, I just know everything, okay? I'm a genius. Then she starts freaking out. She's like, Kels, I can't tell him. He's the love of my life. I ended the affair and we're just going to get married and everything's going to be fine. It's like it never happened. Like, what's the good in telling him? I was like, you can't enter a marriage based on lies. It's just not right. And the final thing she says to me is, you know what? I love you, but I don't agree with you, and this is my life, and I've decided not to tell him, and you're not going to change my mind. So I just am going to need you to love me and support me. So I knew what I had to do, and after the rehearsal dinner, I took her fiance aside, and I told him what I knew. I told him that she was cheating. He moved out of their house that night and told her the wedding was off. He didn't even want to talk to her about the situation. My entire family is furious with me. They think I'm completely in the wrong in this situation. And my sister and mom told me the only way I can fix this is to go to her fiance or ex-fiance and tell him that I was lying. And that the reason I made that up is because I was jealous my sister was getting married and I wanted to ruin the wedding. I know I did the right thing, and I don't want to now become a liar to her fiance too. But also, I love my sister, and I'm afraid that if I don't do this, I'm going to lose her forever. I don't know. What do you think?
Story time about how I almost got unalived by a psychopath when I was 18 years old. Well, at least I thought I was going to get unalived. Y'all tell me. All right, let me set the scene as always. So let's picture it is 2018. I'm in high school. I'm a senior in high school. I'm broke as hell. I just kind of moved back with my mama. She broke as hell. We just broke. We ain't got no cheese for real. But we got a house, you feel me? Like, I go to school every day, shit like that. Like normal 18-year-old stuff. Now, I kind of got to take it back to 2017 to show y'all how I met this man. I'm going to change all the names just for like legal reasons because this man is like in jail right now for this case. Not my case. Another case where he actually did, you feel me, do that. All right, so if I'm not mistaken, it was 2017. I was dating a girl. Her name was, let's call her Kayla. In 2017, I was dating Kayla, and me and Kayla was kind of cool, but Kayla had kind of one of those households where you can kind of do whatever you wanted to do. We was at her daddy house, and we could literally do whatever we wanted to do. Kayla had like a crazy cousin, like one of, everybody got that thought cousin. I'm just gonna say it. Everybody got that thought cousin. She was young, she had a baby, and she used to be fucking with the niggas. You feel me? So this is how I got introduced to the man. Actually, I never even got like introduced to him, but this is how I even knew about him. So Kayla's cousin was messing with the man. Let's call him DeMarco. So Kayla's cousin is messing with DeMarco. And they kind of just always be something. They be horning a nigga though. They be horning a nigga like, ooh, whoop, he be doing this, he be doing that, he be buying this, he be buying that. And I'm like, dang, he kind of sound like a nice dude to me. Like he taking care of y'all baby, he taking care of y'all. So this is how I ever even knew anything about this man. Like she was just showing me him on Snapchat, all this, that, and the third. Fast forward, now it's 2018. I got a whole new girlfriend. She not new. She really like a past girlfriend that I just got back with when I broke up with Kayla. So this girlfriend, let's call her Jada. So me and Jada, we've been rocking out for a couple years now, whatever, on and off. Jada is supporting my hoop dreams. Jada is telling me, like, you don't got to work, don't do nothing. Like, I'm going to pay for everything, you feel me? Like, you just focus on your hoop dreams. Y'all, I was ass. I wasn't going nowhere with the hoop shit. I'm going to be honest. All right, so I end up getting a Snapchat. Let's just start getting into how I met this dude. So I get a Snapchat from DeMarco like, hey, what's up? Ooh. I'm like, hey, what up, though? Whatever. And I'm going to be honest, I don't really remember how all of this transpired. But all I know is he started sending me cheese. And it was like good cheese, like for somebody that wasn't working and that was in high school and all that type of stuff. Somehow we ended up being real cool, right? Where we would Snapchat all the time. And to mind you, I'm not even hiding this from my girl because, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit, he's sending me cheese and I'm giving her some cheese too. So she really don't really care. And she know I'm not going. You feel me? So it's like, whatever. And he wasn't even giving vibes that he liked me at all in no way, shape, or form. He didn't seem like he liked me at all. So as time started going on, DeMarco started coming to see me, right? So DeMarco would pull up or whatever. DeMarco was ugly as hell too, but he was funny. So we would like kick it. You feel me? Like we would go to the mall. We would do all type of shit, but he never, ever tried to like talk to me or nothing like that. It never gave those vibes to me. Like it never was on that. Like he was never on that. It even got to the point where I started to spend the night at DeMarco house. Y'all got to understand too, like DeMarco was really having. Like, DeMarco was buying me game systems. DeMarco was doing all type of shit for me. And it did not click in my brain. Like, now as a 25-year-old lady, I understand. You feel me? Like, yeah. Anyway, it ended up getting to the point where I even started introducing my girlfriend to DeMarco. Hey, babe, this my man's DeMarco. He cool as hell, da-da-da. We could chill at his crib. He got big house. He got this, he got that. And he cool as fuck. He do not be on that. So, I'm like, okay. So I guess this is like a form of like love bombing, but in a way from a friend, because we were friends. I thought we were friends. Like he would, like the first thing I remember him buying me is he bought me a dog. And I just remember saying like, damn, like I want a dog. The next day I had a dog. I had a Labradoodle. I think it was a Labradoodle. Yeah, I had a black Labradoodle. His name was Prince or whatever. And my mama had hold me. She like, you're not bringing no dog to my crib. Is you crazy? Like, we ain't got no room for no dog. So DeMarco let me keep the dog at his house. Sometimes the dog would be at my girlfriend's house, but it was my dog. And I was happy because I wanted a dog. So now my girlfriend at the time, she like, this nigga do anything for you, bae. I'm like, yeah, he low-key would. So we get the, hey, can I get this? Can I get that? And he icing all that shit. We got Nike tags. We doing all we got everything. He done paid my senior dues. He doing everything for me. Like, and shit, he ain't asked me for nothing in return. And he cool as hell. So now we get to the point where I let my mama meet DeMarco. DeMarco come to my mama crib. Him and my mama hit it off crazy. Like I said, DeMarco was funny. He was cool. He was so like, I don't know. He was so charming, like, but not even in a way where I want, like, it was like, oh, damn, he a good person. Like, he used to, like, go get gas for people. Like, he would sit at the gas station for hours and get people, like, free gas. DeMarco was really having. DeMarco had, like, 5, 6 businesses. He was all, like, he was a millionaire. Let's just say DeMarco was a millionaire, for sure. And I knew for a fact that he was. And he didn't mind helping people out. And that was cool with me because I was broke as hell. It even got to the point where, like, my mama was like, he had bought my mama so much stuff for like Mother's Day and stuff like he spent like a band on my mama for Mother's Day. So of course my mama like, oh yeah, I'll fuck with DeMarco. She get the overdoing shit though. Yeah, this my stepson. What she was saying? Nah, what's it called when you? She like, oh yeah, this my son-in-law. I'm sorry I ain't her though, because what you on? No, he not. This is your friend. This your daughter friend. So now I'm kind of treating DeMarco like a big brother. I didn't put DeMarco like in a big brother spot. I'm trying to make sure I made sure that line was clear. I don't like you. I got a girlfriend. This is what it is. But again, he never gave me those vibes in the first place. I didn't really have to do it. But I just be like, damn, like I fuck with DeMarco. Like, you know, he's just a good guy. So it even got to the point where my girlfriend would come over to DeMarco's house. Because like, shit, I didn't want to be at my house. So we would go hang out at DeMarco's house. And, you know, like, shit, we just go to the movies. Like, we do whatever we wanted to do at DeMarco's house. And DeMarco was not, like, super old. Like, if I was 18, DeMarco was probably, like, 21, 22. And he was cool. Yeah. So it was, like, around the time where I was about to get my license. DeMarco was teaching me how to drive. So we was spending, I'm just trying to show y'all, like, we was spending a lot of time together. Like, we was almost seeing each other every single day, if not every single day. Like I said, he was teaching me how to drive, everything. He had, like I said, I was my senior year, so I'm paying senior dues. I'm about to get ready to go to prom. And me personally, just like the financial state that my mom was in, I knew that I probably wasn't going to go to prom because it was like, shit, we didn't have no cheese. I keep trying to tell y'all, we didn't have no cheese. And my girl done told me to stop don't work because I'm going to the WNBA. So we just didn't have no cheese. So in my head, I'm already planning like, yeah, I'm going to have to ask DeMarco to pay for my prom because like it ain't no way I'm going to go no other type of way. But I'm not used to really asking for anything because DeMarco just did for me. Like, I didn't even have to ask. So it was kind of weird when it was time for me to ask. It was like, you know, this kind of weird. I don't want to ask him because this ain't my man or nothing. You feel me? Like, this big bro. But I put my pride aside and I just asked him, DeMarco, can you pay for my prom dress? DeMarco was like, yeah, we're going to go look for one tomorrow. We go look for one tomorrow. I found a prom dress. DeMarco buys the prom dress. I'll take it home. You don't feel me? I got a prom dress now. Now I'm really in awe. I'm like, damn, like, DeMarco is really my big brother. Like, this is the big brother I never had. Like, he is really making sure I'm straight. Ooh. So I'm spending a lot of time with DeMarco now. And DeMarco is funny. Like, DeMarco is cool. DeMarco is funny. DeMarco makes sure I'm straight. So, at this point, DeMarco and Jada, my girlfriend at the time, they starting to get cool, too. So, like, sometimes, shit, DeMarco be like, hey, let's pick up Jada. Let's all hang out, like, whatever. And it used to be cool. It was normal to us. We was friends with DeMarco. One day I went to DeMarco's house and my girlfriend did not come with me this time. And I think I was mad at my mom or something. So I was going to actually spend a night at DeMarco's house. I did not want to be at home this night. So I don't know how or why I did it or what I was even doing. But I ended up calling. Y'all remember that other ex that I was telling y'all about in the beginning? Kayla, that had even introduced me to him. Somehow I ended up getting back cool with Kayla, or I ended up calling Kayla, and I was on FaceTime with Kayla in DeMarco's house. DeMarco come in the room. He like, who you on the phone with? So I'm telling him, like, this Kayla, you know Kayla, right? You know what I feel me? DeMarco's whole demeanor changes. Like everything, like his whole, he like, hang up on her. But we laughing, so I'm hanging up on her. I'm like, whoa, what? So he like, why you on the phone with her or whatever? Like, don't talk to her no more. I'm thinking DeMarco was playing. I don't know why DeMarco don't, at this point, I don't know why DeMarco don't want me to talk to Kayla so bad. Like, you so, what? He like, why you talking to her? Like, you supposed to be talking to Jada. In my head, now I'm starting to think like, bro, who is you to tell me who to talk to? Whether it's my ex, my girlfriend, who are you to tell me who I can talk to? So I'm like, all right, weirdo.
So I've been seeing somebody, and buckle in if you want to hear about that, because it has been a goddamn whirlwind and I'm obsessed with it. So I was on Hinge. I've reactivated Hinge. Horrible experience, so annoying. And I was out with my friend one night, and she was like, girl, why are you on Hinge and not Tinder? And I was like, I've only ever used Tinder as like a here for a good time, not a long time kind of thing. And she was like, no, it's like totally different now. Like, trust me. I am taking Adderall and chugging this coffee. And this straw was in a leftover Baja Blast from Taco Bell. So that's where my day's at. But anyways, she was like, get Tinder. So I re-downloaded Tinder. I've had the same Tinder account since like 2024. I just keep deactivating it. That was a lie. I didn't mean 2024. I meant since I was 24. I'm turning 32 in a few weeks. So it's like an old ass account, but I reactivated it. She put a bunch of new pictures up of me, and all I did was put my bio as I can turn any outing into 10,000 steps with multiple shots being taken. All right, Adderall has been taken. So I put that as my bio, got a bunch of matches, was chatting with some people. And then on one Thursday, I was chatting with this very lovely man. I don't have notifications set up. And then my weekend was busy because I'm a busy person. I'm very social. I was out with friends. I was drinking. I'm not opening dating apps. I have a life. So on Sunday evening, Sunday afternoon, I opened it and was like, oh my God, I'm shit on getting on here. I'm so sorry. And between Tinder and Hinge, she was the only person that I went back to on Sunday and was like, sorry. And he replied and was like, congrats on having a life. And then replied to my messages that I had sent. And then 2 or 3 hours later, I'm actually going to put a screenshot in. 2 or 3 hours later, he messaged me and was like, I think I missed a cue. Here's my number if you want it. It was the cutest thing ever. I was like, immediately, yes. Immediately. What an overthinking little bean. I'm obsessed. I call him a little bean, but he's 6'3", 6'4". So we start texting. We're texting for 2 or 3 days, and
the next 8 minutes I recorded got cut off because of a phone call I got, and I didn't know that until I went to edit it hours later. But anyways, I was on the phone with a friend, and I even mentioned, I was like, I'm talking to this kind of cool guy. He has about 1 to 2 more days to ask me on a date, though, before I'm like, hey, do you even want to fucking meet me? And literally right after that phone call, he texted me and was like, hey, I had sent him a walking path I really like in San Diego. So he was like, hey, do you want to walk this with me on Sunday? Or we can grab a drink tomorrow night. And I was like, I would love to do either. Just let me know. And so we made plans to grab a drink that next evening. And we were just meeting at a brewery by my house, and we were just going to get a drink. And we had pre-mentioned, if it goes well, we'll do the walk on Sunday. We grabbed 2 drinks there, walked to a place, had dinner, walked to another place, had nightcaps, and then he walked me back to my apartment. And he was so sweet about it. He was like, I can walk you as far as you want. I'll order my Uber whenever you're ready for me to leave. And I was like, no, you can walk me all the way to my apartment, but I have a roommate, so I'll just say bye on the sidewalk while you're waiting for your Uber. We get to my apartment, and we're a block or 2 away from my apartment. I shiver, I guess, because I was wearing this really cute short dress with heels, and I shiver. So he puts his flannel on me, and we're holding hands, and it was our first real physical touch outside of our knees bumping into each other during the nightcaps. Oh, and we planned our second date during dinner. We were both this is nice. And so we put the flannel on, and we're holding hands, and we walk up to my apartment, and my roommate's motorcycle isn't there, and I was like, that's so weird that she's not home right now. But I was like, hey, if you want to, do you want to come in and meet the dog and cat that we've been talking about? Really, really hot makeout session. We stayed in the living room, with hand in hair, hand on ass, up dress, guys, it was amazing, superb. I literally spent the next 2 days being when was the last time I had that hot of a makeout session with anybody? But yeah, so then we went on our second date that Sunday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. You guys, he picked me up at my apartment, and then we went on the walk that I previously mentioned, which was 4 miles, and then he drove me across town to go walk my friend's dogs for her. So we walked those dogs with me, and then we went to that little downtown area. If you live in San Diego, we basically went from the beaches to La Mesa. So we were in downtown La Mesa. We walked around down there. It's super cute. We grabbed a drink at a bar. And then when we were walking back to his car, we actually ran into some of my friends. Not like super close friends, just like casual bar acquaintance friends. But he handled it like a champ. And then we went to go get lunch. Where he picked us to go get lunch, I was like, if we're running into people in this town, we're definitely going to run into people in that neighborhood. And he was like, I don't care. Like, why do you think I wouldn't want to be seen with you? Okay. So we go and we have our smash burgers, and then we were walking to another brewery, and we did run into people I know. And again, he handled it like a freaking champ. And so he like met them, super sweet. Again, not super close friends, but people, this one I actually like, somebody I really care about. And then, yeah, we went to the brewery, and then we walked the longest possible route back to his car, like 7 blocks up, over 7 blocks down, over, like, just so nice. Like, the second date was so cute. And then he took me home and dropped me off. And at that point, while we were walking back to his car, we planned our third date. Planned our next date for 2 days later. He had taken off work to help his mom with stuff in the morning. So he was like, it'll be the earliest time available because I don't have work. And so I was like, oh my God, can I plan a happy hour map for us? So we went to, again, if you live in San Diego, we went to Little Italy, which is just this like super adorable downtown area. And we bar hopped around Little Italy. What was super cute though is I thought he wasn't going to be there until like, I didn't know how early he could get there. So I was like, maybe I won't see him until like 5. And I had told him like, no rush on the time. And so I headed there a lot earlier with like a book and an iPad. And I was like, I'll go sit in a cute little wine bar overlooking the water. Like, this is adorable. And my roommate was like, oh, if you're killing time, just take a bus to this town and then take the trolley. The view is so cute. And I was like, girl, you get me. And so I messaged him while I was on the bus, and I was like, I'm actually doing this instead of taking the bus straight there. And he was like, oh, you're taking the bus directly to where I live. And I was like, oh, am I? And he's like, yeah, if you don't mind, like, I'll just trolley with you. And I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. But at that point I was like, my bus is literally pulling in right now, but I'll go kill time. So we met at a bar next to his apartment. And then we conveniently walked past his apartment on the way to the trolley to get his jacket. And we had another very, very aggressively hot, amazing makeout session. And I got to meet his cat. You guys know I love cats. And yeah, so that was the beginning of our third date. And then we did trolley, and we ended up going to like 6 different bars, and it was so much fun. We had such a great time. We only ran into one person I knew. And then we went into a restaurant, and the manager knew me. But yeah, and then it just ended with me getting a lift home because he had work in the morning, and he took the trolley back to his place, and it was an amazing third date. He did end up getting like a little tipsy by the last bar we were at, and he showed me text messages that he sent his friends during and after our first date, and it was just like, this girl is so cool. And then it was like, this is the best first date I've ever been on. And then I'm not going to get into his past at all because I'm just telling my story at this point. But while he was tipsy, he did kind of mumble something really cute. And he was basically just like, I wish I could tell myself a year ago that I'd be sitting here next to you. And then he asked, when's the next time I can see you? And I was like, when do you want to see me again? He was like, tomorrow. And I was like, babe. And so we made plans for Friday night. So then Thursday night, I had dinner plans with somebody else, and it got rescheduled to lunch plans on Friday. So we were joking around, and he made a joke about like, oh, just list it on Facebook Market and deal with like creepy men all night. And I was like, I don't have plans anymore. And he ended up not having plans either. So we hung out. I went to his neighborhood, and I drove there, and we bar hopped a tiny bit. We went to one bar, walked to another. They were weirdly closed. So we went and grabbed food, and then it started storming. And if you live in San Diego, like, we deal with like drizzle sometimes, but it was like torrential downpour, like thunder, like it was crazy. And so we're soaking wet. We get back to his apartment, and I stayed for like 2 hours, and we were just like snuggled under blankets in front of a space heater in his living room. And we just like talked and snuggled, and it was very lovely. And at that point, we had already planned our fourth date for Friday night. But then our fourth date ended up being torrential downpour on Thursday night. So on Friday, I was out with my friends, and they were like, are you excited for your fourth date tonight? And I was like, it's our fifth. And they were like, we're over this. We need to meet him. Like, this is moving so fast. Like, we've never seen you this, like, smitten and glowy. They of course know way more details than I'm telling the online interwebs. And so they were like, we're gonna invite our boyfriends. And this is like, one of the girls and I have been friends for over 15 years, and one of the guys and I have been friends for like 13 years at this point. I don't know. And so these are like close friends of mine. So they're like, we're doing a triple date. And I'm like, okay. And at this point, I'm already like tipsy. And so I was like, hey, you can say no. He was like, no, it's okay. That like where we were planning on going tonight will be there forever. I'm on my way. I'll get an Uber. And then we bar hopped, and then we actually ended up at a bar, and it was like 9:30, 10 p.m. And at this point, I've been drinking since noon, so I'm like pretty lit. And we run into my ex-boyfriend. He